Injury to a child. That's not just any probation case. That's serious. Remember, probation here was basically a second chance instead of a state jail sentence. But second chances come with strict strings attached. And missing reports? That's like cutting those strings yourself.
To a child. And that was a state jail felony, correct, everybody? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. There's a motion pending. Probation is here, and state's here, and defendant's here, defense attorney. What are we going to do?
Your Honor, I think Mr. Haney wanted to explain to you what happened when she, I don't want to use the word absconded, but stopped checking in. She thought she was still checking in. I just want to let her explain kind of what was going on for the court case and decided to do, and we were going to ask for it.
Boom. She admits it. Missed check-ins, the cardinal sin of probation. If you don't report, the system can't supervise you. Think about it. How do you prove rehabilitation if you're MIA? What do you think? Should judges be lenient on missed check-ins if the excuses sound reasonable? Or is it zero tolerance?
I beg this, hold this, and let her back on probation to see if we can catch up.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, actually, when they swear in, so she can testify to the court.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make during this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Lower your hand. This is kind of odd.
Shouldn't she enter a plea?
I guess, yeah, you're right.
What do you want to do?
We should go ahead and enter a plea. You're right. She needs to enter a plea first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The motion to revoke unadjudicated probation that's been filed. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir.
In summary, this in motion to revoke probation alleges that on April 4th, 2023, you were placed on 5 years deferred or unadjudicated probation for the state jail felony of injury to a child. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Allegation 1 states you failed to report to the probation office for July 26th, August 22nd, September 12th, 2024 in violation of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
True.
That's not true. Okay. Number 2, you failed to provide verification of performing community service hours as required. Is that true or untrue?
That's true.
That's true?
Yes.
You failed to pay court-assessed fees as directed. And number 3, and as of September 12, 2024, you were in arrears $1,345. Is that true?
Yes.
Were you able to pay that?
I did make the payment. My last payment was a $300 payment in June.
Okay. Well, why haven't you made payments since June?
I was, they had me on a payment plan with my rent. I was paying $1,000 a week.
Pay attention here. The judge is spelling out the golden rule of probation. Report, report, report. Missing community service is bad. Falling behind on fees is worse. But not showing up to probation? That's the fast-track ticket to jail. Judges see it as disappearing from supervision altogether.
Which, with the job I was working up north, I was getting paid about $15, but I also paid child support too. And I'm behind. I was behind on child support, so I was making sure I was paying that up too.
Were you able to pay this?
No, sir.
Because of other obligations? Maybe to
Yeah.
that.
I would just glance at it real fast, Judge. I'll give it right back to you. Thank you, sir.
So you're saying you're in arrears, but you weren't able to pay it?
Yes.
Okay. This failure, do you understand that a plea of true to one or more violations of probation is enough
Yes.
to grant the motion to revoke probation? Your probation can be revoked and you can be then found guilty and sentenced no less than 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail. Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true today to that allegation?
Yes, sir.
Failing to perform community service hours as required?
Yes.
I find you pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true. Let's talk about this number 1, this failing to report, because there are certain more serious obligations of probation than others, and committing crimes on probation, while on probation, that's serious. But failing to report means if you don't report, you're not really under supervision. We can't supervise you. We're not the ones who are going to go out and find you. Your obligation is to come and report as required. If you don't, you're not really on probation anymore. And then that means that you're facing the consequences of revocation. And we're going to figure this out. So let me ask, was she on a monthly plan or every other week for probation? Ms. Campos?
She's reporting monthly.
Okay. Is that right? You were supposed to
Yes, sir.
once a month? So you're saying on July 26th, August 27th, and September 12th, 2024, you did report on those days. It says you didn't.
No, sir.
You're under,
Didn't.
you didn't. Okay. Did you report?
A probation reminder is not like a dentist appointment reminder. You don't skip it because the text didn't come through. This defense feels flimsy. Ever heard the phrase, ignorance of a law is no excuse? Well, here it sounds more like my text didn't go through.
Why? Were you supposed to report on those days?
No,
Why not?
I'm not sure. I didn't know.
You should know.
Well, I was.
I mean, you've been on probation. You were on probation for over a year, and there was a sequence of
Well,
normalcy.
Can I ask you some questions and lay that out? Because I think it's
I'd like to know.
Yeah, that would, I think if I ask questions and leave there, you find out all these answers, rather. I know exactly what you're looking at.
All right, go ahead.
Ms. Handy, you've been on probation for a while now, correct?
yes, sir.
Okay. But sometime in July, you stopped reporting in person. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
July of what year?
This year. I'm sorry. No,
There-
actually, last year, 2024. I know.
24.
Why?
Well, I was last time I reported was in May. And my probation officer, she had told me,
Who was that?
Miss Officer Lee. She told me, I told her I had a contract for my job to go 3 months up north in Montana. And she had wrote it up and I signed it. And she told me the next time I had to report was in July the 25th,
6th.
the 26th. And I had emailed her because me and her were contacting each other through email. And I emailed her and told her I wasn't going to be able to come on the 26th because my flight got delayed. I was up north and I wasn't supposed to come back until September the 8th. And I just never.
Wait. You're jumping. You weren't supposed to come back until September 8th of 2024?
Yes.
Who said that?
That's what my contract had said on my paperwork.
What?
But she told me to come and report July the 26th or 27th. And I had emailed her. I told her my flight got delayed and I never got a response back. So, and the service was bad up north. I ended up getting a new number. I emailed her my new number. And I also emailed her the paperwork showing like my fees of why I wasn't able to pay my fees, but I did pay $300 because my rent. I was looking at eviction notice, and they put me up a payment plan to pay $1,000 every week.
Who's they?
My apartment where I was living at.
So let me ask you a question. So you say
I didn't understand this. You can explain it. Your flight was delayed. It's been delayed ever since you got arrested then? Your flight was delayed for months?
So I didn't come back until
Come on.
September.
Oh. When?
September the 8th. I didn't know that I had a warrant for my arrest or anything.
Well, you think we're going to just forget about you?
No, sir.
What'd you think?
I just didn't follow.
Yeah, but your flight was delayed.
That was
It's
in
been
July.
delayed for 3 months?
It was in July. I was
No.
waiting on her to respond to me back. She never
Who?
responded. My officer.
So it's your officer's fault.
She never.
Is that your, you have the obligation under law. You have an obligation that you go to jail on if you don't follow, not her. That's your obligation. We have 5,000 probationers. You think we're supposed to I think we were being kind enough to allow you to go to Montana to work. But then we can't keep up with you when you're 2,000 miles away, except by following the appointments as required. And your flight was delayed. Okay, your flight was delayed. That's your excuse for July 26th. When did you come back home?
September 8th.
So August. So 2 months. It took you 2 months to resolve the delayed flight?
No, sir.
That's what it sounds.
Because I usually get a text message saying when is my next appointment to go to come to report. I always get a text message.
Once again, 5,000 people, we can't be finding them. You're held, you're responsible. And the most important requirement is reporting. If you don't report, you're not on probation. You're not on supervision. Because how are we supervising? We cut you some slack and allowed you privilege to go up there, but it's your obligation to be coming down here responsibly and regularly so that we're keeping in contact with you face to face. That's the way it works for everybody. You're not going to be treated any differently. But generally, here's what we can do to people. We're going to call it the Betty Handy rule. From now, I can say, you want to go work somewhere? No, because
2 years in, 0 hours of community service completed out of 400. That's not just falling behind. That's not even starting the race. Community service is often the easiest part of probation. What do you think? Genuine struggle or just neglect?
this thing came up and Betty Handy said had all kinds of excuses. She went to Montana and she wouldn't come back responsibly. And we're not going to let that anymore. We're not going to let that out of the bag anymore. Everybody's going to have to stay in Jefferson County. Even if you don't live in here, you're going to end up staying in Jefferson County, so keep an eye on you. 5,000 probationers. How do you think that would work? It'd be chaos, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
Because there's a lot of people who don't live here. A lot of people don't work here. But you still have to report here, and that's your responsibility, or else you're not reporting, or you're not on probation. And what's good for you is good for all 5,000. You're not an exception. From probation, tell me, what's your side on this? What do we know? About not reporting?
She did find the travel permit that was generated back on May 29th. And Miss Handy did sign that. It does say in writing that she had the right to go to Montana, and that is through the date of July 15th. So it was approved by you as well as the probation office, but it doesn't alleviate the times and dates that she was supposed to have returned.
What happened on, July 26th, she failed to appear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
From probation. She was supposed to see you?
Yes.
What was the excuse?
In July, I took over Miss Lee's caseload. She's saying that she was communicating with Miss Lee through email, but wasn't getting any response. If she would have called the front office or talked to her supervisor, they would have let her know Miss Lee is no longer her officer, and they would have gave her my contact information. She did get monthly texts from the computer system reminding her of her appointments, but if she updated her phone number by email to Miss Lee, I wouldn't have known.
So the department did provide her notice about the 3 dates that are in there: July 26th, August 22nd, and September 12th, right? And that September 12th date was an administrative hearing date, correct?
Yes.
And she never contacted any time through there?
Now that letter was actually returned because that address wasn't.
So you attempted to contact her through all the means that you were aware of, correct? And she made no contact with you in the months of October and November as well?
Hold on. Back up. What was this about? It was returned. What was returned?
The letter to notify her of her.
Of the administrative hearing, right?
Yes.
Let me see that, please.
Sorry, Judge.
Okay. It was. The letter was sent to 6650 Broad Oak Street, number 17.
Yes, that was the address we had on file.
Where did you think she was at the time this was sent, which was
Well, she had permission to be.
August 27th of 2024.
I apologize, Judge. She had permission to be in Montana up and through July 15th. So it would be appropriate for the department to have assumed that she returned back to her residence here.
All right.
Because she would have been following your orders.
So she was only granted authority to leave through what date from the probation office?
Leaving June 17th, 2024, and to return no later than July 15th, 2024.
Okay. All right. Let's get. Okay. July what? 15th?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So
this is
that was the only authority that she had. We return to this jurisdiction no later than July 15th of 2024.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. So as of July 16th, she was an absconder. Then, correct? She only had authority through July 15th.
If she stayed outside of Texas, which her statements today say she stayed in Montana till September, then the answer is yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So when did we get in contact with her again after that letter?
Face-to-face contact with her at the jail.
Say that again.
I had face-to-face contact with her at the jail.
What date was that?
Your Honor, she was arrested on November 21st of 2024. So you would have seen her sometime after that? Do you know
Is that
when?
right?
Did
Was that right? You were arrested on November 21st?
yes, sir.
Okay. So
I did.
July, August, September, October, November, 4 months, we were absconding.
Yes, sir.
Is that right, everybody, from the state's position? Is that what we understand?
If not 5 months, Judge. Because we go from July 15th to August 15th. I'm going to say at least 4 months, Judge.
4 in a week. And no other communication from her for those 4 months?
She may have contacted me. I believe I did tell her she had an active warrant for her arrest.
When would that have been?
The warrant was issued on October 2nd, so it would have been in between October 2nd and November 21st, 2024.
No, when did you tell her that, though, that directly that she had a warrant for her arrest? Do you remember?
I don't have the exact date.
Okay. Well, what did she say to you about that? Do you remember what her response was?
I just let her know that she needed to turn herself in.
Well, how long did that pass after that? About? Any guess?
Well, she was arrested within a month.
Okay. Arrested what date?
November 21st, 2020.
Okay, so that's the date. Where was she arrested?
Sure. At my home.
Where was that?
Western Crossing, Beaumont, Texas.
Okay, here in Beaumont. So you had been in Beaumont.
Yes, sir. Since September, yes, sir, I have been in Beaumont. I didn't know about the warrant until I called my probation officer.
What difference does it make? Why weren't you reporting when you were here in Beaumont?
I'm not sure.
You know you had to report
Yes, I did. I was
monthly.
I didn't know how. This is my first time on probation or anything. I didn't know it. I didn't know about it. Like I knew about it, but I didn't think that I had to because my probation officer wasn't contacting me. I thought.
Oh, they had to go and get you and bring you?
No, I was contacting her, but I wasn't getting a response back. And we talked through email. Anytime we talked, it was through email.
Well, then what she said was there was a warrant for your arrest.
I didn't know I had a new probation officer until I called the probation.
She said, did you hear what she just said a little while ago? Sir. That she talked to you and said there was a warrant for your arrest.
Told me that a police officer had went to my old address looking for me, and that's what made me call up to the probation office.
When were you going to delight us with an appearance? Since you had been here for a while now, when were you going to give us the satisfaction of seeing you again?
I started working at Burger King because I was trying to make the money to get a paid lawyer.
So you knew you had to report you were avoiding coming in.
I was trying to gather money to get a lawyer, yes, sir.
Even though every day goes by, you were committing a violation. You were waiting to get a lawyer. That's your strategy in this, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sandy, why did you stay in Montana beyond July 15th?
I didn't know that I had to come back.
No, I mean, why were you staying there? I mean, what was going on? Why were you there?
I'm a nurse assistant.
Okay. My point is you were still working, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you continued.
I was on a contract.
Okay. And did you let Miss Lee know that your work was going to be beyond July 15th?
Yes, I showed her the contract. Okay. I sent it to her email. All right.
And so you tried to make contact with Miss Lee via email several times, correct?
Yes.
Okay. No, she was no longer your probation officer or supervision officer.
I did not know that.
Okay. And did you check in? You did not check in person to probation officer when you got back to Beaumont. Did you ever send an email or any kind of notification to Miss Lee when you got back?
Yeah, when I was on my way back, yes, I did.
Okay. All right. Okay. So even though you weren't checking in person, you thought you were checking in because you were sending notice and communication to Miss Lee, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you know today that Miss Lee had moved on and was no longer working there, correct? That was the wrong person.
Right.
Okay. If the judge was to let you continue on probation and see what's going on, you know that if you can't get in touch with your probation officer, to contact the probation department, correct?
Correct.
Okay. That was your mistake. You didn't think to contact them, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Pass the witness.
I have no question to this witness, Judge.
The testimony that has been given by the probation office today, was all of that true and correct? And it was as though you were under oath, so help you God. So your statements here for the court is that the defendant had been informed she did not have authority to be in, she had to report on July 26th, August 22nd, and September 12th, 2024, which she failed to do. And that she had been given notice of that from the probation office. She has admitted, Ms. Handy has admitted under oath for failing to provide verification of performing community service hours as required. She's been on probation since April 4th of 2023. How much community service hours has she?
She was assigned 400 hours. She hasn't completed any hours.
How many has she completed?
Zero.
Zero? Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Can you explain that?
Well, I pay child support and I'm okay.
Can you explain that? We all have obligations, but this is an obligation that keeps you from getting convicted.
Well, I knew I had 5 years of probation. I didn't know I had to do it like right then and there.
That's not the understanding I have from my probation office. From probation, hold on. What is normal and customary for all probation?
And here's the twist. Instead of slamming her with a full 2-year state jail sentence, the judge gives her another shot. Just 10 more days in jail, then back to probation. It's a gamble. If she slips again, she's guaranteed prison time. Second chances are rare in cases like this. Will she finally get it right? Or are we looking at round 2 of revocation down the road?
Probationers, when they are received into probation, are they told that they get to decide when they do community service hours, or is it a plan that's set by the probation office?
No, we encourage them to complete it as soon as possible.
Correct.
How much is it? How much did she have? What was her requirement?
She was assigned 400 hours.
Okay. And so here we are today, and it's 2025. So in a few months, you will be on probation for 2 years, and you have done 0 community service hours, correct? All right. So I know what Mr. West is asking for, to continue on probation. What does the state say?
What speaks well for Miss Handy is that her pristine record before this case arose. I mean, no other arrest outside of this. So I note that because it's disappointing that we're here having this conversation. I really felt like Miss Handy would be one of those that would learn her lesson and we wouldn't be having this. The facts of the offense itself warrants a state jail sentence simply because of the nature of it.
You're talking about injury to a child.
Yes, sir. And it's the manner in which that happens, as the court is aware within the PSI. The goal was to have her on probation and learn better ways to discipline a child. You hear her say today that she's underneath the child support order and that she's handling that, but Judge, just listening to her go back and forth on your comments and what the probation office said, it's clear to me that she's going to struggle to complete probation. So I guess I'm on the fence. That's why I started with telling you that about her record. I hate to give her a conviction, but I think she's really doing that to herself. I would recommend, because of the time frame and the absconding judge, revocation.
Okay.
And a light sentence.
From the probation office, this batterer's intervention program that was ordered, which is the substance of the nature of this case that needed to be addressed. What has she done on that?
She did not qualify to enter and complete the batterer's the FIT program. So what they did instead was anger management and a parenting class, and she completed both in 2023.
Okay. Something's been done.
That speaks
Where's
well.
the child now? Where's the child?
Lake Charles, and he lives with his grandmother in Lake Charles.
That's been from the onset of the offense, Judge.
How long have you been in jail now?
I've been since November 21st, 2024.
47 days is what the system says, Judge.
All right. Anything else?
So I think you've had everything done.
Here.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, I'm going to find that there is sufficient evidence supporting this motion to revoke unadjudicated probation to grant it by a preponderance of the evidence or greater, as allegations 1 and 2 have been proven true by the evidence presented. And also, number 2, failing to provide verification performing community service hours was admitted to by the defendant, which is enough to grant this motion to revoke probation, revoke the defendant's probation. You can now be found guilty and sentenced up to 2 years in the state jail. Anything else to add by anybody?
There you go.
All right. I'm going to find that there is enough evidence to grant this motion for revocation I'm going to defer other. I'm going to defer further action on this. A couple of things are going to be done. You're going to serve 10 more days in jail. That will be 60. And then I'm going to place you back on probation. You will see the probation office immediately upon being released. You will be following the terms and conditions of probation 100%. You will catch up on this community service that has failed, that you have failed to perform. There will be, I want to get updates from the probation office regarding the defendant's actions, and you need okay, that's going to be served 10 more days. She's got 50. I mean, she's got credit for 10 days right now, but it's going to be serve additional 10 days.
I can modify that.
Okay.
Do you want a review date, Your Honor?
Yeah, I always do that. But I want you to move quickly on catching up with all the terms and probations. It's real simple.